I started this YouTube channel in 2013. Back then, I was living in New Zealand, working in my first job in tech, had much thinner eyebrows for some reason. Now it's 2022 and I've been on YouTube for 9 years. I've been making one of these like reflection videos every year of my YouTube journey so far, so I thought, gotta continue it. Let's sit down, have a chat about the last year on YouTube, what I've loved, what I didn't love, and what I plan for the year ahead. This year has been one of very, very slow growth for me. I was on a roll with my YouTube audience growing for a while. Things were going up, 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 up. I was getting more and more subscribers every year. But over the past few years, the momentum has been slowing down a lot. The past year has been a bit of a mess for me. Life has been hard, work has been stressful, there's just, I don't know, things have been busy and I have not prioritized YouTube as much. That has shown in my consistency, in my schedule over the past year, or should I say the lack of one. It has also shown, perhaps because of that lack of consistency, in my audience growth. On my YouTube anniversary, my subscriber count was at 215,000, which is by no means a small number. It's huge. I've got to keep that in perspective sometimes. But it's only 12,000 more subscribers than I had last year, which was a very slow growth relatively for me in comparison to past years on YouTube. Like last year, for example, I grew by 20,000. The year before that, I think it was, 37,000. So it was a pretty big year of growth. I don't know. I think that you get out what you put in, and I clearly haven't put enough into YouTube this year to deserve more growth. But I look around at other design channels and I see people getting more views and growing more. And so I know that there is more opportunity out there, that we haven't reached peak design content. So I know that I can put in the work and reach more people if that's what I want. And it is what I want. I've been reflecting on this over the past year about the future of my business. Where does YouTube fit into it as I'm focusing on working on my book, my podcasts? I would really like to start working on a course next year, but YouTube I do consider still the heart of everything. YouTube is my roots. I love making videos. It's the medium that I most prefer to consume content from creators in, and so it's the medium that I like to create as well. So in the next year, I'm making a commitment to myself and to you that I'm going to get more consistent with YouTube. Looking at my numbers for the past year though, I did create a lot of content, so I've got to give myself some credit. I did 27 different live streams, which is a lot of live streaming, and honestly live streaming has been the thing I've enjoyed most about YouTube in the past year. I think that perhaps this split between live streaming and filmed recorded video content like this has kind of hurt my channel growth as well, because all of the YouTube advice is niche down, be consistent, not just with your schedule but with your content type as well, so people know what to expect. And I know that probably the folks who watch my design tutorials, design advice videos, that's a different audience perhaps than watching hanging out with me for a few hours while I work on a design project. But I really like doing them, and so I'm going to keep doing them because I want to keep doing things for me and for you and not just for an algorithm. So along with the 27 live streams, I also uploaded 40 different videos, around about 40. That sounds like a lot. That's close to one a week technically, but I know that a good quarter or so of them were from my MIQ daily vlog series. This was vlogging series I did when I traveled back to New Zealand. I wanted to document the process of staying in a managed isolation COVID facility, which was a protocol New Zealand had in place at the time. I really enjoyed making that series. I think it's really interesting, and if you want something that's more on the personal side of my life, then I would definitely recommend you watch it. I'll link it on a card in the description. But if we take those out, there's 30 something videos that I made about design this year, which is obviously less than I have in past years. From the content I made, some of my favorites were my annual report video. That's always one I really enjoy not only making and looking at the data for, but also the conversations that it starts, the comments in that. It's really interesting. I also really loved making my office tour, showing you around this beautiful space that I work in, and a more focused workstation tour as well to go through the tech that's part of that. Those are really fun videos to create. I also really enjoyed making the episode 1 of the ConvertKit marketing site design system series, which as of this recording is still just a series of one video. I need to get back to that. There are some updates about why there haven't been updates, if that makes sense. Probably doesn't make sense, but I'll make another one soon, you'll see. Still, I love sharing about the work that I do, and it was fun to get David and Corey from the Brand Studio team involved in that video as well. You can definitely expect more in that series this year, because that's going to be a major process that I am working on as part of my job, and I do think that the best path forward for me is to keep these videos being documenting my work, documenting the things I learn, learn. And so that is going to be a large part of my year next year. Next year, I also plan on doing more consistent live streams. Like I said, this is some of my favorite content that I've created in the past year. I love all of the like interactions and conversations we get to have in the chat during those streams. It's super fun to like work alongside people. And yeah, huge shout out to anyone who has joined the co-working club, which is my channel membership, because yeah, this is super fun to have just spun this up, and really I do feel that sense of community, and I hope it's still there when I eventually go back to it. As you might have seen if you watch my vlogs, sadly this year my beautiful cat Nora passed away, and yeah, I took a break from live streaming when that happened and just hadn't felt like coming back yet, or hadn't like built the habit of coming back yet. But yeah, there was a few things like that this year where like life stuff happened, periods of low mental health that stopped me from creating and from filming as much, staying consistent. I know I started this video kind of berating myself a little bit for being inconsistent and for not uploading enough, but honestly, when I look at it, I think I'm proud of the way that I got through this year and got through the tough times, because it wasn't easy, and you know, you can't do everything all of the time. What I did do this year was make a lot of progress on my book. Definitely not as much progress as I wanted to make. Like, I still don't have a title that I can give you and like to say this book is coming out on this date. Yeah, one day, maybe soon, hopefully in the next 3 months I'll be able to get to that point. But yeah, I'm still in first draft mode. I have had a lot of breakthroughs in figuring out the structure and like what I'm trying to do with this book, how I'm trying to help people. But if this is the first time you've heard me talk about it, I'm writing a book about marketing design to help you level up as a marketing designer and like have more impact with your work. I love how the book is going. It's not easy to write a book, and I'm sort of like enjoying the struggle at the moment and finding my way through it. Those numbers that I gave you before of videos I've uploaded actually didn't include the videos I made on the Inside Marketing Design channel. It was a lot of work to produce season 3. Like, I had more help, but yet somehow it was also more difficult just because things were changing so often with guests. It was harder to like lock people into recording dates and things like that. But I'm really, really proud of that content in that season. So definitely go check it out if you haven't seen it already. It's over on the Inside Marketing Design YouTube channel, which did have some growth this year, which was exciting. I think it almost doubled in subscriber count over the past year, potentially. But yeah, please subscribe to that channel so you'll see when the next season starts. Next year, I plan on uploading episodes of that podcast monthly rather than like weekly for a shorter period in the year. It's definitely not something I can do every week. Let's be realistic here. But yeah, I think doing it monthly is going to be a better process for me. I'm going to try it out next year anyway for season 4. So speaking of next year, that's something I'm committing to is Inside Marketing Design. The season will probably start in around like April and go, yeah, monthly through the end of the year. I also want to commit to doing like at least one anyway, live stream a month, one vlog a month, one like design advice video perhaps, and one work show and tell video. I think that having a bit of a schedule like this, or like categories of videos that I can think about, will really help me in staying consistent and in getting you a bunch of really interesting content. That there's like a range of different stuff. So if you're into the vlogs but not into the design advice, that's okay. There's still going to be both coming for you. And the main thing that I want to do that I haven't figured out yet, so I can't tell you what it is set a schedule for the live streams. Like I said, so you know when to expect one. You can have it in your calendar. I can have it in mine, and just like, yeah, prepare to make that happen because it's super fun. And I don't know, there's just some blocker in going live, but the moment I am live, I like love it. And I'm like, why don't I do this every day? So yeah, it's been a funny old year. Not a very like high achieving one for me in YouTube land. And I am definitely a person who, you know, likes to be growing, likes to be improving and doing things well. So that hasn't felt good at times. But every time I get a comment from someone on a video, especially if it's a comment explaining how the information I've shared or how like my content in general has helped them in their career, I'm like, that's it. That is my reason to keep going. So yeah, I just wanted to let you know that even if I don't reply to every comment, or even if like all I'm saying in reply is just thank you, hope you have a good week, something like that, please know it's very genuine, that I'm very thankful that you took the time to leave a comment. I read all of them and they are truly the thing that keeps me going. That and replies to my newsletter as well, which is something that I've managed to stay pretty consistent with over the past year. So I'll give myself a pat on the back for that. Just want to help people, you know, just want to share what's going on with my design career so that it can potentially help you with yours. Thanks for sticking with me over the years. This is quite a journey that you've followed me on. If you've been here from the start or even just over the past few years, a lot has changed changed in my life, in my job, in my work, and the way that I like think about design. And it's just been fun to have you along for the ride and get to share all of this learning and growth with you. And that's what we'll continue to do in the year ahead. There'll be a bunch of exciting projects shared on this channel next year. The design system, like I talked about, we're also working on a new system for illustrations at ConvertKit, product imagery. We'll be redesigning pages of our marketing site. I'm also really keen to get into sharing more about the differences in my day-to-day work now that I'm creative director versus being a designer. So there is a lot of stuff to come. Please make sure you're subscribed, and I'll look forward to seeing you in all of that content in the year ahead. Thanks. Bye.